You sit down to work. You open your laptop. You know exactly what you should be doing. But 5 minutes later, you're checking your phone, scrolling, switching tabs, watching something you didn't plan to watch. And then the strange question appears in your mind. Why can't I focus anymore? Most people blame discipline. They think they're lazy, weak, unmotivated. But neuroscience tells a very different story. Your focus isn't being destroyed by laziness. It's being hijacked by one of the most powerful systems inside your brain, the dopamine reward system. Dopamine is often misunderstood. People say dopamine is the pleasure chemical, but that's not quite accurate. Dopamine is better described as the brain's reward currency. Think of dopamine like a motivational signal. When your brain detects something that could be valuable for survival, food, opportunity, novelty, it releases dopamine to push you toward it. This system evolved to help humans find food, discover resources, explore the environment. In other words, dopamine was designed to make you seek rewards. But here's where the modern world changes everything. Today we live in an environment filled with instant dopamine triggers, social media notifications, short videos, endless scrolling, fast entertainment. Each one delivers small bursts of dopamine to your brain, and your brain learns something very quickly. This is easier than real work. Inside your brain is a network called the mesolimbic dopamine system. You can imagine it as the brain's internal reward highway. When dopamine spikes happen frequently, this system begins adapting. The brain starts expecting fast rewards, short stimulation, quick novelty. And when that becomes the brain's new normal, something important changes. Slow rewards start to feel boring. Activities that require patience, studying, building skills, working toward long-term goals, no longer trigger strong dopamine signals. Your brain compares the two experiences, instant stimulation versus slow effort, and the reward system chooses the easier option. This creates an internal battle between two powerful systems. On one side is the prefrontal cortex. This is the part of your brain responsible for planning, self-control, long-term thinking. You can think of the prefrontal cortex as the CEO of the brain. It sets goals and tries to guide behavior toward them. But on the other side is the dopamine reward system. And this system does not care about long-term goals. It only cares about immediate reward signals. So when you try to focus on something difficult, your brain enters a neurological conflict. The prefrontal cortex says, "Stay focused. This matters for your future." But the dopamine system says, "There's an easier reward available right now." And dopamine signals travel faster than logical reasoning, which means the reward system often wins. Here's something many people don't realize. Dopamine doesn't just motivate behavior, it also allocates attention. When something promises a strong dopamine reward, your brain automatically directs attention toward it. This means that every notification, every new video, every quick hit of novelty becomes a magnet for your attention system. And the more often you follow those signals, the stronger the habit becomes. Over time, the brain rewires itself. It becomes conditioned to expect constant stimulation. And when stimulation disappears, your brain interprets that as something missing. This is why silence and deep work start to feel uncomfortable. Your nervous system is waiting for the next dopamine spike. But the real problem appears after the spike. Dopamine doesn't stay elevated forever. After a strong spike, dopamine levels drop below baseline. This creates what scientists call a dopamine deficit state. In that state, your brain feels unmotivated, restless, low energy. Activities that once felt interesting suddenly feel exhausting. This is why after hours of stimulation, scrolling, videos, quick entertainment, real work feels almost impossible. Your dopamine system has temporarily drained its motivational fuel, and the prefrontal cortex is left trying to operate with reduced cognitive energy. Many people think they need more motivation, but the real problem is often the opposite. They have too much artificial stimulation. Their dopamine system has become overloaded with fast rewards, and because of that, normal effort feels unrewarding. It's like trying to enjoy a simple meal after eating extremely sugary desserts all day. The brain's reward threshold has changed. There's another layer to this problem. Constant stimulation doesn't just affect dopamine. It also dysregulates the nervous system. Your brain becomes accustomed to rapid switching between stimuli. Fast visuals, fast information, fast novelty. This trains the nervous system into a state of continuous micro-alertness. Your attention becomes fragmented. Instead of sustained focus, the brain expects constant change, which makes deep concentration feel unnatural. The solution is not more motivation. The solution is retraining the reward system. When you reduce artificial dopamine spikes, something powerful begins to happen. Your brain recalibrates. The dopamine system slowly resets its sensitivity. Activities that once felt boring begin to regain their reward signal. Focus becomes easier, attention becomes more stable, and the prefrontal cortex regains control of behavior. This is not about forcing discipline. It's about restoring balance inside the brain's reward system. The reason focus feels harder today is not because people suddenly became weaker. It's because the modern world discovered how to directly stimulate the brain's reward circuitry. Your dopamine system is constantly being pulled toward the easiest rewards available. And every time that happens, your prefrontal cortex loses a little bit of control. So the real battle for focus is not just about discipline. It's about understanding the biological systems shaping your behavior. Because when you understand the dopamine trap, you stop blaming yourself, and you start reclaiming control over the most powerful resource your brain has, your attention.